It's Oreku Ampofo, and we have a lot in store for you in the next 45 minutes or so. I'm also right here on the show where we'll be talking about a range of issues starting here from the Black Queens. We'll also talk about the El-Classico and Asante Kotoko's journey in Africa being over. But before that, remember, it's a winning season again, and this time you're not just chasing wins, you're collecting them. The luckiest is back again, bigger, better, and you can win by dialing *712#, choosing option 1 to buy your ticket to be able to multiply your wins. You can also buy on the online way with the luckiestafrica.com. Remember, one ticket can multiply your money by 500 times, and your whole community could win 10 times over. This is your golden chance. Hop on and let's get lucky together, because luck is everywhere. So let's get straight into the show and introduce my guests. I have Prosper Kuzo, Akosu Eje, and then Kojo Hemen joining me here on Sports Interest. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Rico. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. It's been a very fast weekend, but one of the big headlines locally has been the Black Queens. For 2 days, they've not trained. They still have a pending game to play next week, Tuesday, I believe, against Egypt. That's the second leg of the qualifiers for the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. They're leading by 3-0, quite comfortable in that one. However, they've boycotted training since arriving in Ghana a couple of days ago, stating that their bonuses from the AFCON, in which they finished third just a few months ago in Morocco, are still owed. It's a big mess, to be honest. But Akosia, can you just take us to what has been the sequence with the details, and what are the chances that we would see them training or even playing the match on Tuesday?
I wish I knew. Listen, I wish I knew what the chances could be that they play. Because when they went to the tournament in Morocco, while the group stage was ongoing, I'm sure we all heard about them protesting for their per diems. So there was that minor setback there where the ministry had to come in quickly and then pay their per diems quickly. So it didn't have to turn into a big issue. Then after the tournament, I know a lot of people keep saying that they were just there. They did not win the ultimate, but still, they made a podium finish for a tournament that in 2022 they did not qualify for. And in 2018, when it was hosted in their country, they were out in the group stage. So going back into this tournament and having a podium finish is quite an achievement for these set of players, especially when almost just 2-3 players from the previous WAFCON made it into the squad. Then while they play, in place of the Black Stars, and I don't like doing this comparison. I'm just using it because it's easier for us to understand. It's easier for us to understand how things work with the Black Stars. So with the Black Stars, we know if they play, they win a game, you get a winning bonus per game. But for them, if they play, they get qualification bonus. So if it takes you 4 games to qualify to the next stage of a competition, you will get paid a qualification bonus after you've qualified to the next stage. So they are asking for their qualification bonuses for the WAFCON. So from the group stage to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, and eventually winning the bronze medal. They're not even asking for, say, a package for winning the WAFCON. What are you giving us? Because all the other, we are giving you 10,000 cedis, 20,000 cedis, was just gifts, unofficial gifts from different people. We had the minority in parliament giving them something. The president of Ghana also gave them an undisclosed amount. But they were promised when they came back to Ghana that 2 weeks after the tournament, they were going to receive their allowances and bonuses. They were also told that they were going to prepare a package for them. Till date, they don't know what that package is, whether they are going to get the package, what it's going to be. But the one thing they know for sure that this is something we worked for, our qualification bonus, is what they are asking for. Fortunately or unfortunately, this thing has been coming up for probably like 2-3 weeks, even before they made the call up. So they knew it was coming. I personally told someone at the ministry that, are they aware that the players have started talking about the fact that they owe them? And the person said to me, yes, we are aware. We're working very hard to make sure that they get the monies. But I'm like, they want to protest. And this was on Monday when we had the launch for the Ghana versus England game. So I told this person off camera. That's when I told this person. So I was hoping that since they knew that this was what they were planning to do, right after their game against Egypt, when they step in Ghana, they call them and not give them another promise, but make sure that they pay. But I've seen a lot of conversations around, so what is the FA doing? But we've all been in this country. When it comes to national team, they say it's belong to what? The ministry. And they are in charge of paying these allowances and bonuses. So yesterday, Ket, the GFA president, and Tony Baff actually went to speak to the players, but they are not budging because the last person who spoke to the players before they left their base when they won the tournament was Ket. And he said these are the information he's been given, including after 2 weeks they are going to pay your money. So even for him now, he can't even go and beg them to play, because you were the same person that told us, go home. After 2 weeks, they say they are going to pay whatever allowances and bonuses are, and they've not paid us. So you can't come again and tell us, I need you girls to play. I know that they are going to pay you. But unfortunately, till now, or maybe up until 2-3 p.m. that I was still at Irata Hotel today, they had not heard from the ministry. So this morning, for instance, and yesterday morning, Jordan, who is their physical trainer, put his things in place for them to come and train. They didn't show. The driver came around to come and drive them to training. They didn't show. This afternoon, the same thing happened. The driver came around. They didn't show. The coach is quite worried, but he also understands that, well, this is what the players have to do. I would be glad if they are training. I would wish that they train so that they play the game, but this is what the players are saying. This is our stand. If you want, you can go for your training so that Ghanaians will see that Kim Las Bioke Green, you were at the training, but then you wouldn't be going with us.
Okay, so from your end, the match on Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So that means tomorrow is the last chance for training.
Yes.
What are the chances they train tomorrow?
The only chance that they have now, they do not want to hear any promise. They either want their monies or their checks. Simple. From the ministry. That's all they want now. Not half payment, not we will pay you, not you girls should calm down, put Ghana first, nothing like that. They put Ghana first during the tournament. They calmed down because when they were playing the tournament, they knew that we've not been at this stage since 2016. Let's go all out, do what we have to do for Mother Ghana. And we also want to go back to the World Cup. And this is actually the tournament that if they qualify, this is a tournament that they can qualify to the semi-final and get a slot to Brazil in 2027. So they know what is at stake, but they also know that at the end of the day, these are professional players. If it comes to it and they don't even play the game, it's Ghana that bears the consequences of it.
Yeah,
and as individual players, they can go back to their clubs, play, earn money, and be good.
Orico, why are you laughing?
Because of what happened off camera and off mic. But what do you have to say about this? I think it's quite embarrassing, isn't it?
But this is not the first time. So
yeah, what makes this more embarrassing is that, like, the ministry and the Rata Hotel is how many minutes drive? It's not a big distance, right?
Yeah.
The longer this goes on, I think the more embarrassing it is for the ministry, because then again, if this was Black Stars players before a crucial World Cup qualifier or AFCON qualifier, they won't even get here in the first place. But if there was to be this case and they say they won't train, that first training session, we'll see. In fact, they don't even need bonus issues to have the minister come there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They go to the hotel, they go to training, they are always around the team. Where's the minister? Well, has there been a statement?
Absolutely.
No, but like, has there been any statement?
There's not been any statement.
That's always the issue that I have.
It's absolutely worrying.
There's no form of response. There's no form of remorse. There's not even the pretense to make it look like, you care about women's football. Everything just feels performative.
And you know the funny thing? Our GFA president will go and sit in front of a camera doing interviews and say that yes, he has done a lot for women's football.
When it comes to this,
I'm not blaming him.
When it comes to this,
at least he has visited the team.
I understand. I'm saying, why would you go and sit in front of a camera and say you've done a lot for women's football?
But that's true.
These issues are still persistent.
But listen, when it comes to these payments, see. You can crucify kids for all the things in Ghana football. But when it comes to women's football, national team football, our league system, he's done so much. So this payment doesn't come down to the FA. It comes down to the ministry.
I'll get to them. No.
That's their responsibility. For Ket, even during before the tournament, during the tournament, they did everything they had to do for them. The team had the opportunity to train in one of the best training facilities in Morocco. They made sure that they put all these friendlies for them to play. Even when the ministry was not paying the Black Queens coach at the time, that's Nora Upla, the FA took it upon themselves to pay her. So when it comes, they have done some things right, like up until this point. But this one, let's solely take it to where we have to take it to. Because he's been trying to even mediate. But unfortunately for him, he's the last person who spoke to them that go in 2 weeks' time. It will come, and it didn't come. No. So now he can't go and even try to give them any promises.
I want you to understand my point, right? Even if you are doing halfway, it's nothing. You are not doing anything for these girls. You are saying you are mediating. You are saying you are this thing.
Making appearances.
Oh, bro. But when it came to that final Black Stars qualifier in Accra Sports Stadium, we have money to put together float, print t-shirts. And you can't pay bonuses to these girls. The ministry, I'll come to them. I think it's an embarrassment. What are we doing? What are we telling young girls who are growing up in this country who want to play for the national team? That when you reach there, we won't pay your bonuses. And these things, the juvenile women's footballers who are playing with the aim of getting to the Black Queens, they are all seeing these things. So they tell them these things. So what encouragement are you giving them when they grow up? And you see, the comparison, sometimes we have to put things aside and see it. This will never happen if it was the Black Stars. We've made the Black Stars the pinnacle of this country, and we don't care about anything else when it comes to sports, and it's an embarrassment. I mean, look at how the best football nation, we call ourselves a football nation, look at how the best football nation, look at how they treat their women's teams. They give them good facilities, give them good coaches. Our women's team, technical team, please educate me. Do we have how many Black Stars, the technical staff, how many are they?
We have quite a number, and at least when we went to South Africa, I realized that there were some technical team members we had that they didn't even have, and it was very worrying. So yes, the issues are there, but still, it's better than it used to be.
And
now they have video analysis, please.
and the ministry, Mr. Kofi Adams, you are always loud when it comes to the budget for the national teams. You're always loud when it comes to budgets for Black Stars. I've slashed this, no more bonuses for
when
this.
When it comes to Otuado and whether he should keep it or not.
He has the boldness to always speak when it comes to budgets for this, budget for this, budget. What about our ladies? What about? See, me, it pains me because they are the only serious national team we have. We are in 2025, right?
Yeah.
The past 5 years, they are the only serious national team we have.
They're not begging for money here, Rick.
Oh, bro.
They're not begging
They
for
are
money.
owed it.
This is what they've worked to earn, right? It's if you are in any space where you've been owed bonuses before you, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Pay them your money. And you see, what's even crazy about this is that when I look at the reported fee around the $9,500 or so, nearly $10,000 each. Come on,
bro.
Come on, bro. It's really worrying. And if they give, then they should do what the squad. They should do what they think is best for them.
Honestly, if it takes not
if
playing,
governments cannot intervene,
yeah.
When we're going to play that semi-final, that's going to lead us probably to the WAFCON final. You saw the number of people that were releasing statements.
Wait, you said it's how much again?
Reportedly $9,500
for each player.
Yeah.
For each player.
Yeah.
How many players were there?
23 to 26 between that number.
Yeah.
So let's use 23.
Yeah.
Times 9,500. $218,000. That's not even up to.
One flight.
No, it's not even up to when the Black Stars release their budgets.
It's not one.
They said miscellaneous. The money that they put aside for miscellaneous. This is not even up to it. And you know the funny thing? If they are owed $218,500 for the players, finishing third at the AFCON means that they got $350,000.
Yes. Yes.
From CAF.
Yeah.
I asked the ministry, has that money come?
Because it's been like 3 months.
The tournament has passed. By now, CAF should give you $350,000 for finishing the tournament and placed third.
Yeah.
If that money has come, why are you not taking the money and giving it to the girls? And you even have change.
And when it comes out, they have no excuse because CAF they'll do their due diligence. They'll pay the money out. But as to whether it gets to the team, that's where we have to start asking questions.
And there I say the Black Princesses have also not been paid their per diems or qualification bonus for Tunisia. They've been told that they should wait.
The Tunisia match that they played,
home and away. So
just a few weeks ago.
Yes. So
the month's one card, they've not seen this.
Meaning they've also qualified to the next stage.
Yeah.
But usually, even when it comes to the qualification bonus, they know that while you're playing the tournament, you're not going to get it. You need to finish it off. Then they calculate it, put everything together, and give to you. But when you come to camp, they want to talk about their per diems for the technical team and for the players and the day that also has not been paid. So
I think one of these days we have to invite somebody from the ministry to come and explain the whole process, because how is it so easy to cash out for one national team, but the others we are wait.
But you can never put, in reality, you can never put the two in the same. I mean, they are national teams and they should be prioritized. But you can never put the two in
I'm
the
just
same.
saying the process. I just want to know the process.
Yeah.
Like who do they have to write the check to? Who has to cash this? Blah blah blah. I just want to know why it takes so long for one, and does you know even our youth teams for the boys. They always have to like finish the tournament before they get theirs or something. They don't pay them.
I just think it's just for me and everything I have witnessed with the space. I think it's just a matter of people just being very performative and not actually caring. Because in 2016, for instance, when I was doing my internship at the time, it had to take people, the Black Queens players at the time, to protest on the streets of Accra with placards to get the minister's attention at the time, to listen to them and give them money to go to wherever they came from, and that they were going to put their monies together and give to them. And that took some weeks before they were paid. And at the time, they were also protesting because they had gone to the WAFCON and were third. And they had also won the African Games in 2015. So there was something to fight for. So it's just a matter of, I believe people just don't care. They're very just performative about it. But if they care and they want to call anyone to say, well, you are not reporting the right thing, or you are not, this is not a matter of even showing that you care. It's just a matter of showing that you are competent at the work that you're doing.
As you're speaking, the one thing that's passing through my mind the whole time, Oriku, is that let's say the Black Queens decide
not to play
this game.
Will be sanctioned.
they decide not to feature in this game, it means that ultimately the World Cup spots they could
It's
have
gone.
earned if they finish in the semi-final of the tournament they are going to feature in, they're going to miss out on it.
Yep.
So the whole world might come out to find out that Ghana proudly didn't go to the World Cup at women's level because we failed to pay $200,000 to our players. And I think that's a summary of your football.
Yeah, potential embarrassment and disgrace on the cards. One more day to train, and
Even if they decide to play, they are not even in the best state to play.
Like half day
they've
training.
lost.
Like the only advantage would be that they have a 3-0 advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe avoiding defeat or losing by a goal margin will be
They should just lose by 2-0.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Anyways, let's move on to the CAF Confederation Cup. Asante Kotoko were thumped and minutes later announced that, we're not coming back with our striker. He's taking a straight flight to Libya after such a defeat. There's no point paying our striker anymore, so you should go away. But on a more serious note, Albert Amar.
World Cup conversation.
No one even saw it coming.
Well, yeah, and what I was telling Kosu and Bill yesterday on Warm Up Plus was that were the negotiations in the pipeline? Were they already working on it after the first fixture or the reverse fixture here at the Accra Sports Stadium? How? Why? But it's not even about the fact that you want to sell one of your most important players, and this has been a problem in the league. Also because some of these players want greener pastures, understandable. But it was the timing for me. You've gone on to lose in that. About 24 hours to pass. What's really going to happen? It was just like the time, like after the defeat, within the space of like 15 minutes, it was out that he had departed. And it doesn't just affect football and all the things that come around it, but Kotoko themselves. Albertama was one of their best players this season, or across the last 2 years, one of the best players. And so when now what does it mean for Zito? And I'm wondering, in the mind of the manager, did he approve of this signing, this departure? Did he know of it?
Prosper, just 1 minute. I'm on their Twitter page. So they posted the final graphic for the defeat at 9 p.m. And they announced Albert Sama's departure at 10:58.
You couldn't even let the night pass.
They posted the defeat, the result. At what time?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.
No, but you see, their communications director Safudugu says that they only accepted a bid after the match and all of that. And
After the match,
and no,
in
you see,
Morocco or at Accra Sports Stadium?
I don't even understand. Transfers are very complicated.
You don't
just send an offer, you accept a bid. Even think about it. If the offer was accepted, where is the medical? You think the Libyan club will just get up and announce a signing, pay you all the money, agree,
everything.
without even seeing the fiscal state of the player?
He thinks we are children.
Maybe.
He thinks we are children.
Listen.
And I don't even get it too, because for there has to be medical checks. Like,
Yes.
The club that Al-Ahly, the club that he's going to, is a very well-run club.
Yeah.
They have to tick medical boxes before they sign any player. I don't understand. The player must have done the medicals in Ghana.
I'm sure they might have done all of these
That's what I was
things,
saying,
but maybe they were
in the
thinking that they will qualify to the
And
group
then they
stage
will
and
say
get
no.
$400,000.
So-
But then
so-
once they didn't, and maybe
Wait.
the Albert's money
so
was
if
good.
they qualified,
and
they would have said, okay, we'll do a transfer.
But wait.
But if they qualified, they were going to get $400,000.
So since they didn't,
So
qualify,
maybe you need to cash out one way or the another.
What would have been Albert Amour's value if he kept a consistent run of performances and made it to the World Cup, and Kotoko decide to sell after the World Cup? What would have been his value?
More than they got one.
But that's what
10
Accra had
times-
to
it could
focus
have been
doing for
10
their
times,
goalkeeper.
10 times what they reportedly sold him for.
and you see, that's what I don't get. The timing of our transfers are always bad, in the sense that we sell them once they go on a purple patch. You don't get much value because there's not enough backing, there's not enough consistency in there. They go 2-3 years, they go to North America, Libya, wherever. 2-3 years, they're back.
Yeah.
We do not understand the value that players can benefit and how to boost the value of some of these players, because as you mentioned, it's the reason why at least this season all the clubs have got 1 million Ghana cedis. Sebi Kotoko, you're not hand to mouth. Without this sale, you can't tell me you can't run Kotoko for at least to the end of the season. You're not that desperate. If it was any other club, I understand.
Maybe they are.
Are they?
Because when they went to Morocco, no, listen.
they are, then
no,
it's bad.
hold on. Prosper. So, Prosper, listen. When they went to Morocco, we did not hear a Kotoko going through Turkey or going through Ethiopia. It was quite a straight flight they used. When you are using straight flights, they cost. So maybe putting all that together in the budget together.
Come on. They will not do anything.
Because you see, just that the 1 million Ghana cedi does come.
Yeah.
Every club. If Albert Ama, who was one of the most informed strikers in the league, helps Kotoko win the league, the prize money has been increased.
Exactly.
As you said, potentially, if he's on form, there's been talk about, who knows, he could even make the World Cup squad. If he goes to that World Cup squad, every day he spends to the Black Stars from pre-camping, 2 weeks, the Kotoko stands to get about $5,000 to $15,000. We don't know the amount yet, but I'll be around there. If they have to get $15,000 for at least a month, calculate how much potentially they can get, plus winning the league, plus think about how endearing Albert Ama was becoming to the fans. All of a sudden, people are going to the stadium to see. I remember Fabio Gama's time. You see, some of these things, you can't directly place the money on it. But it's because of Albert value. That 100 more fans will come at the stadium that you will get extra ticket sales. But that is how you build brands, you build values. And in the 2-3 years, you will make money from him. When you finally sell him, you will get 10 times even more than what you would have got at the beginning of the season if you had sold him. But I mean, nobody really knows what went on.
You mentioned Fabio Gama. They've done him. Fabio Gama, Mbella,
Agadas,
Mukwala,
and
Agadas.
the moment someone
all those players
starts to become a fan favorite,
like you don't have to be bigger than the club.
Actually, it's from Danla to their goalkeeper,
Felix,
and the recent one,
Frederick.
Frederick Asari. It's the league feels like an endless loop. Emmanuel Usa, are you on the line? Hello,
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Emmanuel joins us from Kumasi, Karim Zito's best friend. Ima, the Kotoko situation, what really happened? How are they selling players minutes after a match?
Oh, well, what they did is a clear example that a team with no leadership, the leaders don't really understand football. That is a simple explanation to what they did. I'm trying to recall, I mean, I just want to understand if something of this caliber is happening in our country before. Well, I just imagine that your car that you drive, probably maybe you want to sell it, and a day you are driving through the city of Accra with your beloved in the car, fortunately not healthy, and you want to send her to the hospital, and you meet a gentleman at the roadside who stops you that you want to buy the car, give him the car because he's traveling to Kumasi. If he doesn't get the car to that evening, he cannot move to Kumasi, and therefore you sell the car to the person. The explanation Kotoko is giving is that the Libyan club, their transfer window was closing on Friday night, and they had no other option to sell the player to them. This is a childish explanation. I'm sorry, but this is a simple explanation to leaders who do not understand how football is being run. And it is the reason why the clubs in this country are suffering. It is the reason why the clubs in this country, they don't keep improving. They keep declining year after year. I don't understand that you say a player who is contracted to you, a contract ends next year, 2027, and you sell him out. Well, I don't know how much they sell the player, but even if it is $1 million, is there any assumption that the value of the player is no more going to increase, and therefore we need to cash him out at this moment, that if you don't cash him out, you are not going to make that money again? This is a player many supporters, many pundits are calling for his inclusion to the Blasters. I was even told from sources close to the Blasters that our team that will be participating in the Asia tournament, he was almost on the line going to end a collab. And then you just shut him down to a place where our players find it difficult. This is a country who are there's no much, peace for people who are playing football. Agadas is an example, who went there and couldn't make it because their football is not that well. They demand a lot because of how much they pay to players, and therefore, the next 2 or 3 or 4 months, they send you back, no matter your performance. If you're not giving them what they feel it is their standard. I am shocked. It is either the teams, they don't care about the players' future. Yes, you could sell him out to a European country or even a better country within the African continent where you think about your onwards transfer. But a Liberian club, I don't remember the last time a Ghanaian player was sold out by a Liberian club. Just help me. You are someone who are, close to these things. Tell me, when was the last time we were able to transfer, a Liberian club was able to transfer a Ghanaian player? They don't do that normally. And you say your player, this is a young chap who is now loved by the supporters. He's one reason why most supporters of Kotoko attend their games. You just sold him out at the period where you have no option. Kwame Poku is nursing injury. You don't know when he's returning. Morfin Dozo is finding it difficult in attack. Again, there's no option available for Asante Kotoko. And you decide to sell him at this point when you want to win the league. Who does that? Proper team management. I'm trying to find ways to understand what Kotoko management did. Was it that they wanted to, bring in good news to their supporters that they've gotten money and therefore they should forget that humiliation result that happened in Morocco? Was that their thinking? And look at that funny excuses they are giving. I am out of words. This is wrong transfer, no matter the amount Kotoko showed him. I believe that if Albert was allowed to play the end of the season, he was going to end Black Stars call-up, and that will, invite more offers, better offers than what the Liberian club offered to Kotoko. I don't know how much they sold him for, but I still have believed that even if they had kept him with the club and the season, probably he could have ended a call-up to the Black Stars for the World Cup, and that is a good news that will generate a good offer for the club. But this is a young boy around the age of 25, 26, I stand to be corrected, and he decided to sell me out to a Liberian club. Right, it is a bad transfer.
Yeah, very, very bad transfer. Thank you very much for joining us, Emmanuel Owusu. He's laid bare the facts. Prosper, what do you have to say?
Like Little said, it's shocking. It sums up the way the football managers, I'm not talking about coaches, but I'm talking about administrators in Ghana, view the people, view us. Sometimes they think that they can just put out anything, and what do we really have to say about it? And it's a sad reality for the club. No replacement means that their chances of him winning the league dwindle, because if you look at the league table or the league log, prior to those two games, Kotoko have about 2 or 3 games outstanding in the league. Yeah. That if they win, they'll be in and around number 1 and number 2 on the league. And with Albert Amoah, even after they lost in Morocco, it would have meant a lot for the Ghana Premier League. And it's always nice to see, with the way Hearts of Oak are keeping clean sheets here and there, Benjamin Asare, probably another Kotoko player or a Ghana Premier League player coming into the conversation, but also for the rivalry that we have here with our own local El-Classico here. And it's sad, but you're gonna have to move on. Kotoko have to move on.
So the Super Clash is in a few weeks, right?
Yeah, in November.
So who are they going to put as the poster boy for Kotoko?
Kamara.
I didn't expect that.
Bro, it's really difficult to take. The big question is, what really is the decision or thought thought process behind selling a player? I'm assuming it goes to all the arms of management, and so the owner, the board, or the committee, the technical director, because Kotoko do have that, the coach, before the player is sold. The person I have the biggest question to is Karim Zito.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Did he have a gun to his head? Seriously, because as a coach, why would you sell your best striker when the window is closed and you cannot sign a replace? In that moment, you should say, if you sell him, I resign.
Yeah.
Because inadvertently, you will be the one who would be responsible for the poor performances on the pitch. No one cares about the owner or the manager who wanted more money for the... At the end of the day, if Kotoko is all of a sudden not scoring goals and losing games, it's you, Zito. It's you, your CV. Yeah. That is why I'll even be more surprised if he passed this transfer.
I'll be more
Because
surprised.
Kwame Poku is hurt. And you don't even know when he will come back.
I'll be more surprised if he found out at the latter stages where the deal was nearly true.
Then he has to resign. Because
I'm telling you that it could be that 90% of the deal was almost done before he even got to know.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know,
because right coaches. Zito is a very experienced coach. Very, very top.
He's a top coach in our football. He's a model professional.
Yeah.
And I can I don't know. I'm not speaking back. I can 99% say that they did this transfer without telling him.
No, you know at the latter stages.
You know at the latter
where
stages,
he
but
has
they didn't
very
tell you.
little control. Because the way that the signing or the transfer happened, I don't think that the coach is going to know all the way, and like he would have tried to.
He's a principled man who try
to make something happen.
He takes these things seriously.
Maybe
Zito
in the
takes
coming
these things
days
seriously.
we'll start hearing the actual.
When they start performing poorly, that's when you hear the stories.
I'm sure we'll start hearing the real stories. Maybe the player, they'll give us the story of how the player really wanted to go, or how the coach.
Yeah. They could even spin that narrative.
Exactly.
You see, and this is the problem that we have with our league, because now if Kotoko don't perform and they don't win the FA Cup or win the league, next season they don't go to Africa, and then they'll be forced to sell all the players that they have. They'll do the same thing again. They'll sell 12 or 14 players, go and buy 17 players, then they'll do some Takashi, win some FA Cup, then they'll come to playoff, then they'll be whipped again, then they'll it's the same process again.
And as journalists, we have to learn all the names of these new 17. No, but why they laugh? That's the truth. We have to learn the names of all these 17 new players. It's difficult too, because you complain that we don't follow the league, and anytime we're trying our best, you're giving us zero consistency. If like there are players at Barcelona,
Hasselhoff this season, I don't know half of the players.
Come on, like there are people in the space that cannot. And you see, we're trying our best to follow here, but you should also give us some consistency.
Yeah.
But not just for the fact that journalists must know the names or fans must know the names of their players, but the fact that if you want to really build a project, you can't do it without. You can't be every 2 windows, or every window you are bringing 10 new players, 5 new players. Doesn't work like that.
Let's go to Classico. What do you make of Yamal speaking before the games? Do you think it affected the game today?
I think it affected the game today because at the end of the game we saw what happened. I after the game I was rushing to get here, right? And when I go on my phone, once I got here on social media, so I was like, hey, you're moving man. You want to beat the boy.
But I had the B-boy who go and start a fight.
But I mean,
they protected him.
But I mean, you see, Barca fans and other pundits, people around the world admired Lamine, or who have admired him for what he's done over the last 2 years, had zero problems, Oriku. They had no problem with this when he was winning every Classico last season. If Barcelona got a draw at the end, that ball Lamine put in behind the defense for Koundé. If Koundé equalized and Lamine got an assist on the day, he would have gone to post on Instagram and he would be like, we take the draw and we continue on our fight for La Liga. Nobody would have cared that the guy is chatting before the game. When it goes your way, people don't have a problem. It is only when it backfires. Because last season he did it ahead of every Classico, but he won on 4 occasions. There was even a point before the last Classico, after they lost to Inter, after Barca lost to Inter, where Yamal was like, no matter what Real Madrid do, even if they score 2, we'll win them. No matter what they do this year, they are not beating us. And he went ahead to score in the next Classico and give an assist. So when he does that, nobody cares. But the truth of the matter is that, like Chouameni was saying, it spices up. We've missed this bit of the Classico. Look, in 2012, Messi is bagging a brace, Ronaldo is bagging a brace, Mourinho is there, Pep is there. You look at the Classico, and people used to compare it to a World Cup final. You understand? So it's good for the game. But for him, he has to take a long look in the mirror or a reflection and ask yourself that, will you be doing this for the rest of your career? Ahead of every game, you go and chat. And indirectly, it puts a bit of pressure on your team, honestly. Salah did it ahead of that Champions League final in 2022 after he missed. Ramos made him miss it in 2018, and he was like at the presser for that game, the pre-match presser. I remember he made it clear that they were there to beat Madrid, and then Henderson was right next to him, and Henderson was like, "Oh, I think what Salah is trying to say is that we're very confident and we believe that we're going to get a result." And Salah was like, "No, that's not what I'm trying to say." Henderson was there in front of the press. And Salah was like, "No, I'm trying to say that we are beating Madrid." Madrid went on to beat them. And you were there holding your loser's medal, taking a stare into their eyes. So when you get away with it, nobody has a problem with it. But if you don't get away with it, you'll be cooked. And he deserves all the cooking he's receiving, because over the last year, he's also been cooking people. So I think it affected the game one way or the other. It pushed Real Madrid to want to be better as well, or to prove him wrong as well. And I think that, but Madrid, I don't know what's wrong with Madrid in the sense that anytime Barcelona are down, so no matter what, after getting a 1-0 or 2-0 lead against Barcelona, when it's 2-1, they just want to go and hide and defend that lead instead of going to punish Barca more. So I think that what Lamine did prior to the game had a big tone on the game.
Oh, me, I feel Charlie. Let's Lamine be Lamine. Honestly, posting on IG, it's not anything big. He's a kid.
I don't think it's just about the posting on IG. It's the interview he did.
Still, I feel like we should allow him. We should allow him. He's very good at football and he talks the talk. I have no problem with that. If it's you, the fans, and you, the Madrid team, that can handle it, is your problem. Yeah. Because after the final whistle, you know what sparked the whole fight? Cabal was going to.
But it was very surprising that his teammate in the national team, who he shares the same flank with, or shared the same flank with at the Euros, was assisting him and everything, would be the first. And everybody was like, reports in Spain were indicating that Yamal was going to be spoken to after the game privately by Carvajal, that Charlie, stop what you're doing. But Carvajal didn't even go use that route. He came for violence. Charlie, I was like, yeah, but I mean, it's...
that's what sparked the whole thing. Like, okay, you won the match, that's fine. Charlie, after the game, like, what's all this antics?
Yeah, but if you say that Lamine tormented Madrid the whole of the last year. For them to even win the game and still like try to. It just shows that he were
ready to fight.
Yeah, you really got to them. But it's good for El-Classico. I mean, this is the rivalry. This is what we want to see. I mean, so far as nobody gets hospitalized, it's a big part of the game. Yeah, this is what we want to see. It's good. The excitement is good.
Oh, the next El-Classico, he should post again.
Oh, he will post again. He will. He'll do it.
And I mean, what do you make of that Madrid performance? I don't know, but I just feel anytime I've watched Barcelona this season, it looks as if they're going to concede anytime their opponent gets the ball. It's just too much spaces.
Yeah, too much spaces.
I don't know what's happening.
When Hansi Flick started the High Line last year, Barca were not using it under Xavi. He was equally pressing, but his line was further behind. When Hansi Flick started last year, Frankie de Jong was injured. Remember, Frankie returned in November, December, and earned his spot back in around January, February. So Casado was leading or was shielding the back line. And when you play a high line, sometimes, just for the fact that when you press and you lose the ball, those spaces in between, you need a DM who'll be doing a lot of the clearing out. The problem is that when you play two central midfielders, two number 8s or two guys who can even play as number 10s, and you play the two of them as two defensive midfielders throughout the season, you're not going to face a position with the system you are playing that is so demanding. And you saw it today because Barca had no options on the bench to come help Pedri or Frank. And also that's one of the reasons Pedri ended the game being sent off, because the system is so demanding of the two DMs. When Ronald Koeman walked into Barcelona, his first system he tried was a 4-2-3-1, where he played Sergio Busquets in the double pivot. And I said that day, Busquets looked like he had never played football before, because he'd been playing as a single pivot his entire life. And when you play the double pivot in this Hansi Flick system that is normally looking like a 4-2-4 formation with the number 10 and 9 with the two wingers out wide so high up the pitch, it's so much that is demanded from the two DMs. And when one of them is not an out-and-out DM, to be doing the closing of the space or knowing where to be defensively is a lot of trouble. Also because after the departure of Inigo Martinez, Barca didn't replace Martinez. Worst case scenario, they've not had a stable centre-back duo or pairing all season for 3 games. So they've not played 3 games in a row this season with the same centre-backs so far this season. And that is trouble. That is a lot of trouble. And I mean, when Araujo came on, you could see that this high line was screaming a centre back that could have a little bit of energy or pace to be able to match the Madrid opposition. So, I mean, it speaks volumes of where the defensive problem is, and also because of the pressing. Lamine still looks like he has a problem, muscular problem. You remember that he's not fully fit. Marcus Rashford doesn't give you the same intensity of the ball as Rafinha. Right, and Ferran Torres has not played a game since the international break 3 weeks ago. So Ferran has not played a game in 3 weeks. But because Barca have no number 9, no Lewandowski available on the bench, they have very, very thin options. Ferran had to start this game. Rafinha was also not going to play. And so the pressing from Ferran, he did a decent job on the day actually, but the pressing from Ferran, Lamine, Rashford, it was never the same. And so one good pass, and you know that Dean Hutchinson is a really good passer of the ball as a centre back, and then Courtois' long balls also work. So on the day, I think that is where Madrid knew. But it wasn't even in this game. You watch a game against Girona, like you were saying, a game against Sevilla. First half, oppositions are able to get like 4 or 5 clear-cut chances where they can be 3-0 up, 4-0 up against Barcelona. And this problem stem from not replacing Inigo, not having an out-and-out DM who starts in the team, and then the pressing being disjointed. Yeah, that's the problem defensively.
Okay, let's move on to Liverpool. And Slot seems to be struggling. Akucha, what's happening to Slot?
I just think that for some time now, anytime his team loses, it's not about the coach really looking at the team that he has been setting up to say, maybe my setup
is
failing, or maybe I should be the one at fault here, so let me just go back and then check how I'm setting up my players. Every other time he wants it to be about certain players. Every other time he doesn't take that blame to himself. So maybe it's just about time where he gets to understand that if things are not happening well in a team, when you've transferred some of your players, brought in new players who were doing quite well at the beginning, that maybe it's time for the coach to look at how best he can make his team play good again. Because in yesterday's game, it was almost as if Liverpool had 10 players on the field and the opposing team had almost like 20 more players. Because anytime Liverpool lost the ball, there were about how many players from Brentford who were ready. And then when they had the chances to pass the ball, you would see Brentford players not misplacing passes and everything going perfectly for them in the game. And there was no point where you could see one Liverpool player who was as hungry as any of the... There was nowhere in the game. Maybe when Mohamed Salah scored that, but it was just good control, some brilliance, individual brilliance from him get that.
I feel like
it was a lot.
Yeah, I feel like they shouldn't have signed Isak. I know he was a pursuit or someone, or he was the preference or someone. Once they signed Ekitike and they started the season and it was going well, they had to use the 150 million to buy maybe an out-and-out DM and a top centre back. They wouldn't have been facing the problems they are facing now. The absence of Alisson is true because Mamajavili and the saves he makes, he's still a good goalkeeper, but he's never featured in the Premier League. He's always been in La Liga, and so unless he comes up against Barca, Real Madrid, he's a good goalkeeper. He in La Liga he used to make a lot of saves with Joan Garcia, but the Premier League is a different ball game, and Liverpool's defense right now. Milos Keke scored yesterday, but I said it last week in the studios. I'll say it here again. It's not good.
But that same player could have scored more than one.
No, you see, he could score as many as possible, but the system and what it demands from him. And you see, they had two out-and-out fullbacks in Trent and Robertson for 8 years, and they go into a new season defending the title, and they replace them with a guy who just won only 1 year at top level at Bournemouth, and one guy who's a fullback or a wing back or more or less a winger than a natural defender in Frimpong. So they have problems. And the priorities in the summer to go sign 150 million and say you want to sign vets. True, he's created their most chances and most expected assists is vets and all of that. But it will mean that when you sign a number 10 like that, Enrico, you want to play through the middle.
That's why the British.
Because that is what the number 10 is. If you sign a number 10, 150 million, it means you want to build
around him.
And it means the play is not necessarily throughout outward. If you watch that first game against Bournemouth, in the opening game, where Semenyo grabbed the brace, but Liverpool kept it late to come and score two goals from I think Keza and Salah. You would see glimpses of what he was trying to do, and it was working because everybody knew Liverpool. Bournemouth knew Liverpool, so that team that goes out wide.
Yeah.
But in that first game, he wants to do that quick 1-2 combinations between McAllister and Gakpo and Vets through the middle, Ekitike dropping deep. And Ekitike was on really good form, wasn't he, at the beginning of the season?
Yes.
When you pay 150 million, like I said last week, for Isak and you bring him in, you're going to have to sacrifice him. And that ruins the rhythm because Isak didn't even have a preseason. And all the drama and the price tag too. So I think that it's tolling on him, but his tactics is also a part of it. You can, and I think another problem is that Slot has never found himself in this situation at Liverpool before. Like what he's going through right now, one win in his last 6 matches. He's never experienced it before. So if you listen to Van Dijk yesterday, he said all of them have to take a look in the mirror, including the manager, including himself.
But is he not the one who held the meeting last week and he's the one who made that mistake?
No. But I think that they need to improve.
Why did he tackle the player? The same way we've been asking Richard Ofori why he touched the ball.
No.
Why did he tackle the player on the other side?
The problem is that if this continues for like 10 games, right now there's 6 games, 5 losses.
Yeah.
4 in the Premier League in a row. If this continues for like 10 games, Slot is going to be under so much pressure. And in defending your title after spending 500 million in the summer, you see, what is funny to me is that when Barcelona signed Coutinho for 140 million from Liverpool, Coutinho money from Liverpool, when he came to Barcelona, he spent 3 years, won 6 titles. He was a flop because he went to Bayern on loan. And he was a flop. People call it. Dembele won 20 million. Won 7 titles in 6 seasons, was a flop. Griezmann 2 seasons, won 1 title, was a flop. So if Toyota if Florian Wirtz comes to Liverpool, you spend 150 million for him, and he can't even give you 10 goals and 10 assists. Or if you're winning the Premier League without this striker called Isak, and you go pay 150 million to bring him in, he has to elevate you beyond the Premier League. It can't just be the Premier. So it means that even winning the Premier League again after this 500 million investment will be a failure. If you want to really look at the pedestal of the club called Liverpool, what spending 500 million means. If Barcelona win La Liga and they go and spend 500 million in the summer and they win La Liga again, it's a failure. Or at Real Madrid, it's a failure. And that's the truth.
Your energy, sir.
Oh, no,
we're not talking about Barca.
No.
Prosper Heat. But our time here is up. And thank you very much, Prosper, Akosia, and Kojo for joining. Thank you to Rabi as well for producing the show, and Emmanuel Usu for joining us here on Sports Ultras with this very apt analogy, an example. Hope all of you, beloved, at home had a lovely show. We'll be back again, same time next week. My name is Oreku Albo.